cool. So it's just, I think it's recording now. All right, cool. So you were saying you don't usually use social media for your other bit of your business.
Yes, because with my construction company, well, I used to live in Fulham, 17 years, no, 12 years ago. And this is where I start my construction business. And it just because I start with sort of doing little bits and bobs for my friends, for, yeah, just basically friends. And then friends would recommend me somebody else, and by now I built very big, so basically most of my work is word of mouth, or you know, Federation of Master Builder and Trusted Trader, Check and Trader, all that sort of stuff. So my company is there,
Yeah.
so it's really good as well for inquiries. But I never used, it was no need for the Facebook or I don't know, Instagram, that sort of stuff.
Mm.
So now it's very, yeah, it's very new. I must say it's difficult, but it's good because it's challenged me, do something different, something new,
Mhm.
something what I haven't done before. And when it's challenging, it's good because it's something good can come out and you grow as a person. That's that I enjoy in this part. But yeah, uh, otherwise, if I could avoid social media, probably I would. Probably,
Have you
but
had
it's good.
bad experiences in social media?
No, I haven't. No, I didn't have experience with the social media.
That's yeah, no. Social media has not been too bad to me at the moment. Some people have cussed me out actually. Somebody cussed me because, you know, I want to make a property school for kids, and
Yeah.
somebody cussed me out. They said that it was slave labor. I was trying to get the kids to do the work for me for pennies, and I was like, no, that's
Right.
not the point. I want to educate people. So
Yeah.
yes, people can take. Whatever view on things they want, which is quite scary in social media to put yourself out there. So
Yeah.
what made you decide that you wanted to start a podcast then?
Well, it's basically I have a friend. He's social media, whatever the word. Basically, he works with the social media, and I asked him, "What do you think I should do, basically, to put myself out?" And um, he said, "Well, probably one of the thing would be good to create a podcast. But again, the podcast, it's great, but I would be happy to talk about building stuff probably, but not property investment because I'm new in property investment. But again, it's good when I'm talking about property, even if I haven't got a massive knowledge. But again, it's kind of established something in you and giving you more sort of, yeah, wisdom
Yeah.
about the property as well. So it's all good. Yeah, that's why basically put myself out on the social media,
Mm.
and yeah, for people basically just to see me and become a bit more familiar with my face, probably.
Yeah, I mean, you reached out to me once because I wanted some information on a property that I was thinking of converting into a 3 bed. And you got in touch and then you put together a quote for me, which when you did that for me, I was like, wow, that is so kind of you, because that obviously took you some time to put that together. Obviously, if I'd gone ahead with that project, it would have made you money as well, because then you could have been working on the project. But it was very helpful for me to actually see the breakdown of costs, because I think when people go into property, it's the refurb stuff that people don't really understand the costing of. Would you agree with that?
Yes, it's definitely much more challenging because the reason why I started property investment now, because, well, for the last probably 5 years, I'm really enjoying what I'm doing with the building construction business. Um, but I always felt like I would like to do something else related to my existing business. And only about 1 year probably ago, I saw a YouTube video about property investment,
Mm.
and I thought, yeah, that's exactly what I would like to do because it's just, yeah, I can do both basically at the same time.
Yeah.
um, which is great. And for me, it's a privilege because I know how to estimate the project. I know when I'm looking at property, a floor plan, for example. So I have some ideas what you can do with this property. So of course it's a privilege because for people who haven't got any experience with the building, construction knowledge or property investment knowledge, it's much more challenging, of course. So for me, it's a bit easier to start this journey. So I'm glad I run this business, construction business, so it definitely helps.
Yeah. And so do you have a portfolio of your own?
No, not yet, but this is what I'm planning to do.
Yep.
My main goal is build my own portfolio, and I will start probably somewhere. Well, not in London because in London is a bit expensive. Well, too expensive. Of course, it's good to capital growth, which is
Yep.
great. Um, but to buy property and create another salary, it's a bit difficult in London because of course if you have I don't know, at least 500,000 in your bank sitting waiting to be invested, then it's great. You can start in London, buy few properties, and it will be enough for probably about 4 maybe deposits, something like
If you're
that.
lucky. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I found in London probably the cheapest properties, like a 3-bedroom house, is about 350,000 pounds. That's the cheapest, I think. So, but like in Birmingham, I'm shocked. You can buy a property like for 60,000 pounds,
yeah. And did you only
100,000
discover
pounds.
that recently when you started looking more into property, that how much prices were different in different areas?
Yes, and I don't understand why, because I have lots of family living in Birmingham.
Mm.
Their salaries, I mean, they work as well in the building industry, well, some of them, and salaries, well, a bit less than in London, but not dramatically. But properties, oh my gosh, it's
Yes,
amazing.
it is. So with your construction company, do you work just local to London or do you do projects all over the country?
No, mainly Southwest London, Southwest and Surrey, because now I'm living kind of Wimbledon. Well, not exactly in Wimbledon, between Wimbledon and Kingston, probably closer to New Malden sort of area. I moved 12 years ago here. So mainly Southwest London. That's where most of my existing clients live. Sometimes we go into north of London, but like northwest, but not further than that.
And is that because that's just where word of mouth has traveled so far, or is that also to do with traveling would cut that would add an extra cost onto things, right?
Yes, it's a bit more difficult. Yeah, traveling definitely. And also, to be honest, I'm so busy in my existing area, so it's no need for me to, go somewhere else. I mean, further out because I'm passing lots of inquiries to other builders, builders I know basically. If client agree, because I'm telling clients, sorry, I just can't. Like for example, now I'm pre-booked pretty much for the whole rest of the next year, um, which is good. So I just the reason why I'm working in Southwest London, it's easier for me. I'm office based, so for me it's much easier just from where I live on A3, it's 10-15 minutes, and I'm in Fulham, for example. It's very easy for me to, if I need quickly go and have a look something or check something. So yeah.
What you're booked up, which is really good. Well done for you. Do you
Thank you.
think that the new PD rights have changed the market and how much like builders are getting booked in and things like that?
I don't, yeah, well, I don't know, to be honest. I definitely receiving lots of inquiries now, phone calls from random people, like, I mean, people I never met before, saying I bought a property or I put an offer on the property. Can you give me a price? So I definitely can see it's much more inquiries for last probably 3 months, I would say,
Mhm.
receiving like crazy. Otherwise, I would say mainly people staying where they are and just expanding, like building extension, loft, or refreshing, changing layout, existing kind of a floor plan. I definitely think it's definitely at the moment, yeah, all builders is busy. Well, good builders at least, but everyone busy at the moment. So I think it definitely affected, yeah,
Yeah. And
for the builders, for the, yeah.
in your opinion, when people are looking to extend their house, I think because of the lockdown, people appreciate their homes more than they probably did before because they were stuck in them for such a long time. So maybe that's why they're looking to extend. They just want to have a more comfortable way of life. More people are working from home, so they want to have office spaces. Now that you know more about property, as you're getting into that bit a bit more, what do you feel is the most cost effective way to add value to a property, would you say?
Cost effective. Well, probably if you can change something with an existing floor plan, like add a bedroom, extra bedroom within existing floor plan, rather than build an extension, for example,
Mm.
that will be quite costly, or building a loft. But if you can add another bathroom within existing floor plan or another bedroom, that definitely will, well, cost effective and raise the value, value of the property, definitely.
Cool. I mean, the one that you quoted for me, that was involving another bedroom and putting in a shower room as well. And there are just things that I don't know that you do because that's your industry. So you knew that you have to work out the plumbing, for example. Are there
Yeah.
other things like that that people really just don't even realize that you need to do?
Well, I don't know. You see, people. I realize lots of people have some knowledge of the construction, just general knowledge, kind of, especially in terms of layout. Or, but what people really forgetting quite often, about hidden costs, like for example, well, hidden issues, like for example, bathroom renovation. People will in their mind or just Google, for example, how much bathroom renovation would cost them, and they find a price on Google, in Google, for example, like I don't know, 2,500, £3,000, but Google doesn't mention about, for example, maybe you have a rotten joist under the floor, or plumbing has to be replaced, waste pipe has to be completely changed because they may be leaking or very old, or that sort of stuff.
Mm.
So yeah, but I realize quite often people base their knowledge. Like just recently, I estimated one project extension, and I sent the price, and person came back to me, and I've been recommended to him. So he said, "Vitaly, why online? He found online price per square meter is about £1,000, something like that,
Mhm.
but." My price came about, I don't know, even if you will divide a square meter per square meter, it's probably about, I don't know, maybe 2.5 or something like that, £1,000. So I explained to him, nobody really priced the job by square meter. You just price basically how many, I don't know, walls you would like to build, how many square meters of floor you're planning to lay, that sort of stuff. So he realized when he collected other 5 quotations, he realized, oh my gosh, yeah, online stuff, pricing, even as a guide, it's quite often really off the, yeah, it's just it's always better. I would recommend invite a builder and ask the price.
Yeah, I would agree with you. And when I've gone to view properties myself, I've always wanted actually to invite a builder in. But you don't want to take the mick out of people because obviously, if you've not agreed to purchase that property yet, it's just the beginning of working out if you want it. Obviously, if you've got a builder to come and visit one property, you can't then invite them to one the next day and the day after that. Do you know what I mean? So, what would
Yeah,
how would you advise building a good relationship with your builder so that you basically both can profit in property moving forward? What's the
yeah.
best way to do that?
Well, just be fair with the builder, as you said, because some people, yeah, taking advantage because quotations these days is free. Builders don't charge for to price a job,
Mm.
and some people taking advantage of that, like looking at properties and even didn't put an offer. They just think how much this property will cost if I will buy this property, and then they invite builder to price the job. It's quite a big job to find a time, come visit the property, and then estimate this property. And actually, the owner, he knows he probably unlikely he will buy this property anyway in the first place. So I think it would be good to explain to a builder when you find a builder, explain to a builder what you're doing, what you're planning to do, like you're a property investor and you're looking for properties and you need renovation for these properties, and say, ask him if you can work with him and how you can work with him without, instead of him coming to the property each time, you can send to a builder floor plan.
Mm.
And if it's a builder with experience, he will be able to estimate. Of course, you need to tell what roughly you're planning to do with this property. If you have some ideas, like for example, you will say just refresh, or you would like somehow add another bedroom if it's possible, or another bathroom. So builder will have a look on the floor plan and he will estimate from this floor plan. So basically, he will not spend his time traveling to the property
Mm.
and meeting with you and stuff. So I think it will be fair, and especially if you're honestly planning when you will find a good property, and it will be cost effective, you will definitely buy, and you will definitely use this particular builder. Then it's fair. Of course, it takes time. Maybe it's not every property you find you will buy and you will renovate.
Mm.
But if you will explain what exactly you're planning to do, I think it will be fine. Builder will say, yeah, great, send me a floor plan, and we'll estimate until we will get the property, which will you will buy, and he will eventually renovate.
Good, thank you. That is very good advice, I think. In terms of, like you said, like doing a quote on a floor plan, because I think some people underestimate how much time people actually put in for the things they give away for free, um, in the hope that you'll work together and you'll make money together later on. How much time does it take to put together a quote?
Well, let's say if you're planning full house renovation, like 3-bedroom house renovations, maybe plus you planning build extension to this property, maybe build a loft. Well, roughly, probably it will take, I don't know, 45 minutes to estimate, something like that.
Yeah.
So under 1 hour, I would say.
Okay. But let's say an hour of somebody's time to load up the computer, do that stuff, have a conversation,
Yeah,
and
unless, sorry, unless of course builder can say without even calculate, just like seeing the floor plan, and he would say, well, roughly this much, this amount, without even calculating anything.
yeah,
But I usually prefer take, put a calculator and go through different stages of the jobs. And then, like, for example, for you, I, rather than just throwing figures,
yeah.
saying, oh, this is how much, I would prefer just quickly put things together
Mm.
and then I see how much, rather than say it will be £40,000 and then I put through spreadsheet and then actually it's £60,000. So I
Yeah,
would rather.
to be fair, it's better to know what it's like that, because if an estimate is just an estimate that somebody pulls out of the air within a 5-minute judgment call, then it's probably not a very realistic estimate, is it? It really is
Yeah,
just a vague number. uh,
yeah. And for you, or anybody else who's planning to, yeah, do a property investment and building on portfolio, you would like find a good builder. And if you, when you're looking for a builder, and you send the plans, let's say to 3 builders, and then 2 of them will come just with a figure, oh, this renovation will cost whatever, how much, and one of them will come back with a proper written quotation, maybe still rough figures, but generally you will see a structure of the. So it would tell you this builder probably more serious builder and more, I don't know, professional, and this is the builder you would like to work with, rather than, he put an effort to go through your floor plan and think how much it will cost.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. I think looking professional, how much do you think that that goes towards what work you get given? Do you think that goes quite a long way?
Sorry, you mean how many?
So, like the way that people present themselves. So, when they give a quote, for example, by doing the itemized quote,
Yeah.
um, that makes you look professional. Do you think that that has gotten you a lot of more work in the future, or do you think a lot of it comes from personality? Like, what do you think are the main things that make people decide to work with somebody else?
Well, trust. I think trust when my when people my clients quite often would tell me I'm quite expensive builder. I'm not trying to overcharge people. I just know how much I'm paying to my guys. I'm
Mm.
trying to pay them well. Then I know they will deliver good job. Um, but when I meet with people, I don't know. I would be interested in what they're planning to do. I will spend some time discussing with them what they're planning to do. Maybe I will give them suggestions, what is good, what is not good, what will work, what will not work. And plus, so they will understand I know what I'm talking about. Plus, when I send my quotation, and I will send with a contract payment schedule and put proper written quotation, quite often people would tell me, Vitaliy, you're the most expensive out of, let's say, 3 or 4 builders, but we would like go ahead with you just because we feel more comfortable with you. So I would say it's definitely really good to be a professional.
Mm.
And then, yeah, people not always go with the cheapest prices. People would like to trust you because somebody works in your own house, so you would like to trust this person when he comes into your property, and it's not always down to a cheapest price. People ready to pay a bit more, but relax. And of course, you know building projects, like, I'm not an angel. We doing wrong stuff sometimes, definitely. But again, the good thing is that the good builder thing, when if something goes wrong, instead of pointing fingers at somebody else, he would say, okay, I messed up, I will sort it out. So that's the main thing. Well, one of the main thing, when you can trust this person will not run away with your money, but he will fix it if something goes wrong. Because
Mm.
we're all people, and when you do, especially renovations, you never know what will come out. Like when you lift the floors, oh my gosh, I didn't expect that, like rotten joist or something.
Yeah.
And you have to discuss with the client, then, look, this is the extra price, and so on, so on. So people will as well see you reasonable, you explaining, you are trustworthy. So
Yeah.
it's very important. Yeah, be professional, definitely.
It's what you just said about trusting somebody in your house. Like, that is a huge level of trust that you don't have with very many people in your life, right? Because I always
Mm.
think about when people say how many friends they have, and like, yeah, but how many friends do you actually invite to your house? Like, how many people are your real friends? And so you're right, a builder is somebody who you are going to invite into your home, and you may even leave them in your home with keys
Yeah.
to your property. And that is a very scary place to get to. So to have that trust is very, very important. And I've struggled with that myself before. Actually, I had a roofer, actually, and they didn't need to come in the house, so that was fine. They went over the top of the house, that was fine. But then, yeah, you can't always trust people, because they left loads of rubbish in the gutter, and I kept messing. They never came back to clean out the gutter, but I didn't realize the gutter was full of mess until a few weeks later, when the water started pouring down where it was clumped up. So
Mm.
yeah, it is important that you can trust people to come and fix something if they've done something a bit wrong. What's the biggest, you said about the rotten joists under the floor. what's the biggest thing that you found when you've gone to do a job that you didn't realize was there until you found it?
Um, I don't know, because by now I usually kind of try and predict what would happen or would not happen. Probably the biggest thing, um, probably a dump. I didn't realize one property, we were doing one property, and it was lots of dump behind a linen paper,
Hmm.
and we don't dealing with a dump. Because I believe, well, I haven't got experience with treating the dump, because I always advise clients invite proper dump proofers rather than just a builder, because dump proofers would treat the dump and they will certify, which is very important. So probably, yeah, that was the thing which I didn't realize when we removed the linen paper, and the client just bought this property, and yeah, so previous owner just painted walls, it looks fresh, and damp didn't manage to come through by that time when I came. And yeah, when we start removing line paper, we realize, oh my gosh, it's really a massive damp. So it's put on hold for about 2 months, the whole project, because client had to find a damp proofer, and yeah, uh, that's probably was the biggest thing.
And do you now work with like damp proofers that you would recommend, so that is that all part of like what you do now, or you still just tell them to go get a damp proofing and then you'll do the construction work afterwards?
Yeah, usually, yes. I don't work particular with like with a particular company, dump proofing company. I usually give advice to clients how to find a dump proofer. And again, I will say just go to Federation of Master Builder website, or um, Trusted Trader, and then find, yeah, a dump proofer, because it's not that often happening dump issues. Well, in my experience, that's why I haven't got particular company I work with
Mhm.
on sort of regular basis.
Okay, cool. Are there any other companies that you kind of do work on a regular basis, or you don't need to?
I don't really need to. Well, a gas engineer, because I haven't got my own gas engineer.
Hmm.
When we're installing boilers, for example, yeah, I always work with a particular company.
Hmm.
So they come and install boilers for me. Otherwise, yeah, we cover the whole, well, except dump proofing, of course. Otherwise, we cover the whole interior work, including extensions. So yeah.
Excellent. Cool. I think I've run out of questions for you. Is there anything else that you'd like to talk about or raise for people, that anyone that's getting into property or thinking about doing a renovation, anything that you'd like to share?
Well, I just, as I said, especially if you're starting or you're a professional property investor, and if you invest in properties, you definitely need a builder, because even if you buy to let properties, still some property, or most of the properties anyway, has to be refreshed. But mainly, like especially BRR properties, strategies. So you need a builder. So I would say, yeah, spend good time. Um, to find, don't be in a rush, find a builder, spend some time, because I'm a builder, and I know in this industry, building industry, you can find cowboy, lots of good builders, lots of, I think my majority of builders is good. They really care, they really try and do the best. But same time, yeah, lots of cowboys. So spend definitely good time, amount of time looking for a builder. Go to, I would say, never go to, like, I don't know, even the Yellow Pages. It still exists, or it doesn't exist
I
anymore.
think yell.com, yeah.
Yeah, or just Google. I think at least, well, go to Federation of Master Builder, check a trade, trust a trade, because it's a places where still you can find a bad builder, but at least there's builders who on these websites, they care about their reputation, because if someone will complain, if they messed up something, and client will complain to um, Check a Trade or Trust a Trade, then this company will take, I mean, Trust a Trader, for example, they will remove this builder from their website. It's mean they will lose lots of inquiries. So builders on these websites, they do care about their reputation. So even if they messed up something, they will do the best to rectify.
Mm-hmm.
Or if they didn't rectify, you can go back to Trust a Trader if you found the builder from Trust a Trader, and Trust a Trader will take responsibility to fix your whatever happened. They
Okay.
will send another builder. So for you, it's a good security. It's better, basically. You feel a bit more secure with finding builder from one of these websites.
That's good advice. I didn't realize that they took on that responsibility, so that's good. Um,
Yeah.
cool, excellent. Thank you so much for your time today. I found it useful. Hopefully, the people that watch this will find it useful too. Do you want to just let people know, when does your podcast start?
Well, next week it will be our first episode.
Next week. And what's it called?
Property with Vitaliy, but proper tea. Yeah.
With a cup of tea, right? A proper
With a
tea.
cup of tea, yeah. With a cup of tea, yeah. So yeah, and people can find me on vgpropertygroup.com. So yeah.
Excellent. Fantastic.
Thank you very much. It's really thank you very much. It was great to have a chat with you.
It was great to have a chat with you too. And hopefully we can have one again a little bit further down the line, and we can both have different stories to tell by then, because we'll have achieved so much in the next few months, hopefully. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, yes, definitely. Yeah,
Excellent.
thank you.
All right. Have a good day and have a happy new year.
Yeah, you too. Thank you.
See you
Bye
later.
bye.
Bye.